Welcome back, Leisure Freaks. It has been, I think, about 2 months since I've last spoke to you. Dealing with Chucky, we went over the teaser trailer the week before, and then the week after we did the official trailer for Chucky. And they've also released another trailer since then. I didn't feel the need to cover it, considering the series comes out on Tuesday, the 12th. And I just wanted to talk about the character in general. This month and continuing on in every October on this channel, I just want to do like a monster appreciation thing. I don't even know what to call it yet. I might just call it Monster Appreciation Month. I mean, everyone else calls theirs something dumb and witty, and mine's kind of boring and bland. So, first character I did want to talk about, since he does have a TV show coming on, is Chucky. This is a 7-film collection. I just wanted to talk about really just Child's Play 1 for the most part today. It's going to be like a review slash breakdown of the character, like I told you previously, to try to get people to come in and watch it. Not a lot of people like to watch horror films that are dated back in the 80s. This one was made in 88, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check on that. Yeah, 1988. So I'm going to jump right into it. Here we go. First, before we break down the character, let's give you a little insight to the plot. The plot involves a single mother, played by Catherine Hicks, trying to give her son a birthday present. Alex Vincent is the son. His name is Andy in the movie. Alex Vincent also goes on to play Andy in Child's Play 2. There's an end credit scene in The Curse of Chucky, which is 6, and then he's in Cult of Chucky, which is 7, and then he will be in the new TV series, reprising his role with another character from Child's Play 2. But Chucky is a serial killer by the name of Charles Lee Ray. Before he dies, he is shot down by Chris Sarandon's character, which we'll talk about later in the month for Fright Night. He's shot down in a toy store, and Brad Dourif, which is Charles Lee Ray, puts his soul into a doll and goes by the nickname of Chucky. Catherine Hicks, wanting to find something good for her son, ends up finding a peddler behind the store that she works at. I don't know if it's like a mall or whatever, but they have a good guy doll, which Andy's really into. He's got like the whole outfit and he's got all the tools and accessories that you would have for a doll, but doesn't have the actual doll. So he gets the doll, and there's a night where Catherine Hicks' character has to work over because she left early for her son's birthday and got him the doll, and has her friend Peggy, which is the one that helped her get Chucky in the first place, watch over Andy. Now, while watching over Andy, she tells him like go to bed and everything, but Chucky's sitting up by himself watching TV, and strange things start to happen after Andy goes to bed. And it ends up killing Peggy. She gets hit in the eye with a hammer and falls out of a window and hits a car really hard. The cops come in. This is where we meet Chris Sarandon's character, Mike, and he's a detective. And they're matching the shoe prints up on the countertop of where everything happened, the murder scene, and he's got about the same size shoe and matching design on the shoes as Andy's pajamas, which are good guy pajamas. So he becomes a murder suspect. An 8-year-old boy becomes a murder suspect. The story goes on, and it gets to the point where Chucky's telling Andy to do these things. Like, they go and kill his ex-partner, Eddie Caputo. I think I'm saying it right. He was the one that actually left Charles Lee Ray in the very beginning of the movie when they were robbing somebody. Now, the origin switches up a little bit in Curse of Chucky, but this movie's to help you get on the track to watching the rest of the films. That's what this whole series is about in October, is getting you to like a character based off my synopsis, or just becoming interested in the character at all, so you continue to watch these movies. But let's get back to it. I'm going off track once again. He kills Eddie, and then they find Andy in a different part of town where Eddie's killed, and they're starting to think Andy is a killer, or he's delusional because he keeps saying Chucky told him so. After Andy's picked up, they kind of go into talking to Catherine Hicks, like, hey, maybe he should be monitored a little bit. Let's take him to this place. So he kind of goes to it's not a mental asylum. It's kind of like a rehab center, but they do some very bad, like shock therapy is one of the things there. And Andy's stuck there now. So Chucky is now back home with Catherine Hicks' character, and she's just down. Her son's in a rehabilitation center because they don't know if something mentally is wrong with him, and she starts to kind of lose it too, to the point where she's just cleaning up the house, sad, depressed. Picks up the good guy box and the batteries fall out. That's when she realizes maybe Andy wasn't wrong. So she picks up Chucky and opens up his back, which is a cool shot recreated in the trailer. I actually discussed it in, I think it was my last video, or the teaser video of Chucky. But she opens him up and he comes to life and rolls underneath, or he turns his head around like the Exorcist, rolls underneath the couch. And she's like, okay, weird stuff. Picks him up and threatens, she's like, well, I'm going to see if he is alive. Threatens to throw him into the fire. And that's when we get to see Chucky come alive. That's when we get to see the animatronic puppet. And it looks really good. It made 1988, and there's still not a whole lot of good things that look like this. So that's why I'm so happy for the new Chucky series to be using animatronic puppeteer stuff. That franchise has gone, I think, CGI maybe once or twice for like Seed of Chucky or Bride of Chucky, but there's no reason to use that. He's a doll. He's supposed to look like a doll. That's why it works so well. Getting off track again. Here we go. Chucky's now escaped by biting Catherine Hicks' arm, and he leaves, and we don't know where he goes. There's some things that happen. I can't remember if they happened before or after, but Catherine Hicks and Chris Sarandon's characters both visit Charlie Ray's house. They also, Mike, which is Chris Sarandon, has a run-in with Chucky after getting some files. And Chucky says he was going to kill Mike for killing him in the toy store in the very beginning. And he's in the car hiding and tries to strangle Mike and stab him. And it just ends up flipping the car to the point where Chucky thinks he's invincible until he gets shot like 3 times and starts to bleed. But he shows up at the Voodoo Master's house and he tells him, hey, you weren't supposed to use it in a dark way. This was supposed to be a peaceful thing. And they call it the Damballa. And the Heart of Damballa comes into play later in the movies. It never existed until Bride of Chucky, as far as I'm concerned. He tells him, hey, you are an abomination, a freak of nature, and I don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to help you. And Chucky creates a voodoo doll and breaks the Voodoo Master's arms and legs. Chris Sarandon, which is Mike, and Catherine Hicks' character, which I always forget her name for whatever reason, show up to, it might be the Damballa, that might be his name. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this. I'm going strictly off memory. They go to his house and they find him dead, and he's like, you need to save the child. He's going to try to switch his souls. So we get to a part where Andy has to fend for himself. So we're at the rehab center, and Andy has to get away from Chucky. He actually fools Chucky and gets away, and he gets caught by one of the doctors there, and the doctor ends up dying by shock therapy by Chucky, which is pretty funny. But Andy goes home, and that's where we get to the kind of climax of the film. So here we are. Andy goes back home. Chucky follows him, and Andy's like trying to be smart, lock up everything, and Chucky comes down the chimney somehow in an apartment building. I have no idea how the hell he gets up there. They're fighting, and he gets knocked out to the point that Chucky's about to switch souls with him, and Chucky's looking more human and more gross by this point, like very uncomfortably real. But at this point, the Catherine Hicks and Chris Sarandon's character comes in and pulls him off, and there's a big weird fight that happens, like POV of Chucky chasing Andy and Catherine Hicks' character. They actually burn Chucky, and then they think he's dead, but he's not dead. The Voodoo Master, Damballa, said that they had to kill him by shooting him in the heart. And they shoot his fucking arm and his head off and his legs off. And they think he's dead again. He comes out of the wall after Chris Sarandon's partner, I don't remember his name, he's not really that important, is making fun of how they said the doll was alive, and the doll comes out of the wall, out of a register, and starts to choke him, and that's when they shoot that part, the doll, through the heart, and then that's the end of the movie. The end of the movie kind of feels like a TV episode, like Tales from the Dark Side or Tales from the Crypt. Chucky dies, and then the lights go out after they're leaving the apartment building, and you just see Andy's face as the door's closing, and there's a free frame. It's kind of weird, but it's in the 80s. I mean, that was my review on Child's Play 1. If you're interested in continuing watching the series, you can pick this up on Amazon right now for $30. I actually bought mine back when Cult of Chucky came out, and that was, what, 2017? I paid $60 for it, so it's about half off. Also, if you are interested in continuing to watch the series, make sure you watch the actual Chucky TV series coming on this Tuesday on the 12th. It's going to be on Sci-Fi and USA, and it's going to be completely unrated Chucky, like we know from the movies. And we're going to be seeing returning characters, so if you really want to be caught up on that series and know what's going on, make sure you watch these movies in that time. Now, they are streaming on like Peacock. There's some on Netflix, if I remember correctly. Or you could just buy them. Most of them stay on sale all the time on places like Vudu or Amazon. So, thank you guys. Make sure you check out the links below, and follow me on Twitch also. I'm live almost all the time. I could be live right now, or I could be watching a movie. I don't fucking know. But make sure you come back and hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
What?